chances are you gained a lot of information from the internet, especially with the advent of social media. It seems like ever since Facebook took off and a bunch of other services and apps were created, like Instagram, TikTok, all of those, basically that we have been inundated with information from left and right non-stop. I'm willing to bet a good 60 to 80% of that information you encounter comes with a certain type of spin. 10 things they never taught you in school. Or, I wish they taught me this in school. And I think it's very important to highlight the information you're taking in and be very critical about the emotions and opinions you're taking in with the information and be able to distinguish between the two, or 3 or 4 or 5, whatever. Because a lot of the things that we've heard in that particular way of being presented information kind of inserts this assumption that these are things we should or are actually supposed to be learning in school. But think about it. We already know now, thanks to some of that information, that school was never really designed for that purpose. As a matter of fact, I'm sure schoolhouses go back years and years and years, but I'm talking about the current modern iteration of them was really, correct me if I'm wrong, but from my understanding, designed by special interests who had a lot of power, such as, Rockefeller and whoever else, the usual suspects in the power structure that recognized a need, right? And a need to create workers, to train people to be able to work. And we're not talking about like intermittent few weeks training. We're talking about creating lifelong workers here. It's very easy to just go off the cuff and say, oh, that's evil, that's wrong, and blah, 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 blah. But think about it. Who's gonna build these cities? Who's gonna create all this infrastructure that they can really depend on to do it? Who's going to continue to maintain these systems and all these facilities and institutions? Now, granted, we all got a fair share of issues with the dominant Euro-Caucasoid power structure. But that's not the point. If you invented something, you get to decide what its purpose and implementations are, and its applications. So I just think it's important we know the origins of things. And that way we're not disappointed, let down, or misled by false expectations. Granted, 12 years in anything, you should learn a hell of a lot. But you get my point. What you think? And remember, think critically. Let me hear it in the comments.